No matter how many positive habits you integrate into your daily life, there will be times where you're not exactly having the best day, and that's okay. Emotions are a part of the human experience. They teach us so much about what we like, what we dislike, what makes us happy, and what makes us care. Feeling good or bad means you're alive, and it took me some time to understand that. Having a bad day does not mean you're not happy, fulfilled, or that something big is missing from your life. In fact, what if I told you that having a bad day doesn't have to feel that bad at all? I know it sounds counterintuitive, but like anything else in your life, navigating through your negative feelings is a skill. And as I've aged and gotten more happy and peaceful in my life, I've learned how to deal with those bad days and how to make them a meaningful experience in my life. I remember there used to be a time where I would make my bad days even worse because I would feel bad about feeling bad. Which brings us to tip number 1. Avoid feeling bad about feeling bad, aka don't create a negativity burger. In case you're wondering, yes, I did come up with the negativity burger metaphor myself. And I came up with it because I thought that's exactly what's happening in your head if you start to feel sad or angry or bad because you're not at your most perfect, desirable state. You're just adding negativity on top of negativity. You can think about those feelings, you can process them if you need to. It's actually very preferable that you do so, but don't add another layer. Don't punish yourself. Don't feel like you're in any way less than someone else, because never compare. I've made so many videos about this. You never know what someone else is going through, and no matter how their life looks like on social media, no matter what they tell you, every single person on this planet has a bad day. Number 2, accept that feelings are a part of human experience. I've had so many instances in my life, especially in my teens, with all the puberty and emotions that women go through, boys too, but I think women take it to a whole other level. Then my early 20s of figuring out who I am. I remember I had so many feelings and so many of them weren't pleasant. And I remember thinking, why am I feeling this way? And I felt so alone at times, and I think it also ties with my personality. I want to be this high achiever, determined, figure everything out by myself. It took me some time to realize that all of those feelings are valid, and actually how amazing is the fact that we get to experience those emotions. And I know that if you're going through a difficult situation, maybe you're even watching this video on a bad day, you might think, what do you mean? I don't want to feel this way. But I promise you that down the line, when you look back at your life, every single feeling meant something. Every single feeling showed something about yourself. It's just part of your human nature to feel things, and it's okay. It's what makes you human. Literally, I will say it again. Whatever you are feeling, it's what makes you alive. It's what makes you human. You are not different than anybody else. You're not damaged. You're not weird. Everyone feels the feels. Feels. That's just who I am, guys. I'm sorry, I have to sneak in a little song or that's me, Also, part of my human experience. Number 3, don't search for a deeper meaning on your bad days. I know that very often we tend to look for clues and meanings. Why is this happening, right? We turn to the sky, we talk to universe, some of us talk to God. We just are like, what's happening? What does this mean? Listen, everyone has their truth, and that's okay, but I can only share this and talk about this from my experience. And if you are an overthinker like I am, that will only make you spiral deeper, and that will make your bad day worse. Yes, sometimes there is reasoning and meaning to why you're feeling that way. We can explore that in another video of how to deal with all of that, how to understand what the universe is saying, how to change your life. That's a different video. Here we're talking about just those bad days where you literally feel like everything is not going the way you want it to go. If you're gonna start looking for a deeper meaning, you will find it. But will that be the right answer? Not necessarily. We see what we are looking for. That is the truth. We always hear about people who want a kitty. Yes, I'm talking about myself. You see kitties everywhere. If you want a baby, you see babies everywhere. If you think all men are horrible, you see horrible men. If you think all you want to do is travel, you see travel pictures everywhere. So if you think there's a reason for your bad day and you're feeling horrible, you will find those reasons. You will find those deeper meanings. And that will only make you sit in your head more. Which brings us to tip number 4. Avoid being in your head. You have to find things, hobbies, actions that makes you go out of your head and go into the real world. One specific example that I have noticed in my life, if I'm having a bad day, I will sometimes clean my house. Not only because cleaning makes me feel better, I feel that my environment is nice and tidy and clean, but it kind of makes my body, my soul, everything that me, Ilva, is, turn off the sitting in my head mode and go into action mode. I used to sometimes think also that if I'm having a bad day, I should just lay in bed and do nothing. And I've kind of noticed that also makes it worse. I have to go into the real world. Do something. Cleaning the house, cleaning the dishes, working. Don't allow yourself to fall down. It's okay to feel what you feel, but keep doing things that allow you not to be in here. Do things that you love and that take your mind off of whatever you're feeling or thinking that day. This ties together a little bit with the previous point of not being in your head and doing something, but this one is more specific to your hobbies and your things that you actually like to do. So watching TV shows, drawing, going for a walk, going into the nature, doing things that usually bring you joy. I now want to move to the last part of the video and tell you about a bad day recently that I had and how I managed it, because I am actually very proud of how I did it. I felt like something is too much and I'm not feeling like myself. And whatever I do, nothing really makes me happy. And I felt it and I was like, yep, it's a bad day. It's one of those days. The first thing that I did was allow myself to feel it. I was like, okay, I'm having a bad day. Doesn't matter. I knew instantly that I wanted to work on that day. So to devote myself to not my head, but doing something that I enjoy. The second part, I didn't allow myself to dwell on those feelings. So that ties together with what I said about not being in your head, one, and not adding negativity on top of negativity. So I didn't create the negativity burger. Every single time I wanted to question, oh, why am I feeling like this and that, I was like, because it's life. Because you're a human being and it just happens. Because I know myself so well, because I've spent so much time talking to myself, I know my head, I know my patterns, I knew that this was one of those days where I should not look for a deeper meaning. And then on the evening of that day, I made a tasty meal, I watched some movies, I intentionally didn't check social media, I tried to be in the real world. And guess what? All of this experience made me feel so much better. Work on yourself, work on your happiness, create positive habits. All of those will make your life so much better. And yes, you will have less and less bad days, but when they do sneak in, you will be prepared. I've integrated so many positive habits and thinking patterns in my life that now that I have a bad day, it almost feels like it's just a little bit unpleasant. But I swear to you, I was not born this way. I swear to you, I've had bad days in my life where I really felt like maybe I was depressed. But I didn't allow those feelings to determine who I am. I did in that moment, but I knew that I wanted to work on myself so that one day I can have bad days like I have now. There will be difficulties in my life, but it's up to me how I manage them, how I allow myself to feel them. I don't shame myself. I'm not angry at myself. I try to make my day better. And I hope that with these tips, you can do the same. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have anything to say on this topic, feel free to share. I always love to read your comments. I am so grateful and thankful that you watch my videos. If you want me to explore this topic deeper, if you want me to make videos on how to really know if your bad days are overtaking your life and maybe there is a deeper meaning behind it, let me know again in the comments. But for now, this is it. Thanks so much again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.